as public speakers and as speakers in general, we tend to add some humor to all our speeches to make it very natural, make it very engaging with the audience. And I myself like to add a couple of jokes here and there. But my biggest fear is that because adding jokes can be confusing sometimes, because my biggest fear is, what if I make a joke and nobody laughs? See? Now, I've just made a joke, and one person laughed. But the good thing is, I am safe in this audience, and all our contestants are in this audience are safe because we have a very wonderful audience that supports the speakers to the best of their ability. Olga, do you have any fears about adding humor to your speeches?
Well, actually, yes, because I joined Toastmasters because I wanted to be a stand-up comedian. But I shortly realized that after joining that I wasn't that funny. And my husband had to take me aside one day and said, Olga, nobody's laughing. Nobody's even cracking a smile. So now I'm working at it, taking a new approach. Back to you, Sachin.
Brilliant. All right. So with that, I am going to shut myself up because we have these amazing speakers who have lots of comedy and humor to add to the evening. But to go ahead with the proceedings, we have the lovely contest chef joining us. And that is none other than Jill Segal. Jill has been a member of Toastmasters since 2009. She attributes an enhanced quality of life to the experience of throwing fear to the wind, gaining confidence and improving incrementally to Toastmasters meetings. Governor Square, I think I missed that name out. Sorry about that. Speakers was her alma mater. She is a founding member of City Limit Speakers and briefly a member of 104 London Debaters. Now, there's no stopping her craving stage time, as you can see. However, back in the day, the fear of speaking in public, rather, was an obsolete to her pursuing her career as a barrister. Now, this barrister is the one who practices law, not the one who masters the art of coffee making. For the past 30 years, Jill has been immersed in the world of live performance, mainly working with international classical musicians, managing their careers in UK and abroad. So basically, when they are hit with the plagiarism, she's the one to go to and talk to. So they will have that plagiarism. Promoting and presenting concerts. In early days, she also produces 2 plays at French London theatres. Most recently, her time is taken up as an international development director for Le Ricci Music Festival in Italy, which takes place in July, August each summer, as well as expanding her current passion for stage time, interviewing artists and hosting events. Now, if you are planning to visit Italy this summer, you know where to be. Unfortunately, I can't because I don't have this. All right, to formally invite, let me ask Olga to do that.
I absolutely love contests, so I would like to introduce Jill Contest Style. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jill Segal with a contest entitled District 91 Humorous Speech. With a contest entitled District 91 Humorous Speech, please welcome Jill Segal to the stage.
Can anybody find my joke? Can anybody find my joke? Those online, please look. It could have gone through the ether. Madam International Director, our current D91 District Director, and all the former past District Directors that are here today, whether you are from 91 or from somewhere else in the world. My fellow Toastmasters, and some very welcome guests too. Hello, and thank you for coming to support our D91 humorous speakers today. They will really appreciate your help. And we're going to do a little exercise in just a moment in preparing yourself after lunch, sleepy time, end of a conference, to really exercise your laughing muscles. Really important to be behind them. And I had a wonderful introduction from Sachin because he was far more humorous than I could ever be. So I'm a serious sandwich between his humour and the fantastic 8 contestants we're going to hear. I'm really excited. I hope that you'll know how to breathe, to prepare, to stretch your rib cage so it can be flexible and produce the laughter that we need you to produce today. So, could you all take deep breaths? Not laughing. Those of you who know me know it's terrible to give me a script. And I've been threatened by Amy that I have to follow the script. And I have seen and heard how she's treated previous content chairs. So, very much against my better nature, I'm going to have to sort of read a script. To be honest, there's a lot of words on my phone, but some of them are bold. So I'm going to use them as prompts. I hope all your mobile phones are on silent because despite the fact that this is a hybrid contest, we do have all the contestants in the room today. However, we do have judges in the room and online. So you're all going to have to behave. It's very important. But the judging criteria for the contestants will be the same whether the judges are here or there. Each contestant will be brought to the stage. We don't have any virtual contestants to bring to the stage, and Grace very kindly breathed a sigh of relief. I've been feeling very anxious about things going wrong. So I can be warm and snuggly to all our in-person contestants. Then we'll come up here and there'll be a short sound check, and they'll be invited to confirm that they can see the lights. Please, no photography. We have an official photographer in the room. And something else. If you feel some great urgency to leave the room, you're just going to have to wait 7.5 minutes if it's at the beginning of the speech and slide out quietly after a speaker has finished speaking, and you really cannot come back under any circumstances until there's a break. So please get a grip on yourself. Can I confirm that Zoom recording has started? The rules. I know everybody knows the rules, but we do have some guests in the room who might just not know the rules. Each speech must be between 4.5 minutes and 7.5 minutes. Timing lights will come on to indicate the movement of time. After 5 minutes, the green light will come on. The green light will stay on for 1 minute, and at 6 minutes, the amber light will come on. That will stay on until 7 minutes have elapsed, and then the red light will come on. And the red light will flicker. There'll be no extra indication of time passing. A contestant will be disqualified if they speak for less than 4.5 minutes or more than 7.5 minutes. There will be an announcement at the end to say that there has been a time disqualification, except there won't be one. But then the name of the contestant will not be disclosed. And we're all going to just enjoy the speeches and not even think about time. And time, of course, will go very quickly as we're enjoying ourselves. There'll be 1 minute silence between each speaker. Total silence. At the end, the judges still need to work on their ballot. So please keep silent, don't move until the chief judge has collected the ballot with the ballot counters and left the room. Protests. Only the contestants or the judges can lodge a protest for lack of originality. Each of the contestants knows what the parameters are. They have been briefed. Eligibility has been checked in advance, so we're not going to worry about that. And I confirm that I have briefed every contestant. Our chief judge today is Vanessa King. Vanessa, would you confirm whether you have briefed the judges?
Judges and functionaries have been briefed, Madam Contest Chair.
Thank you. Now, I have the pleasure to introduce to you, we have heard her name already, and in fact, I was introduced by her, our wonderful Zoom host today, Olga. Hello, Olga.
Hello, Jill.
Could you please confirm that everything is going smoothly with the transmission?
I can confirm that you're being heard crystal clear and everything else is wonderful. Back to you, Jill.
Perfect. Thank you, Olga. Timers, can you confirm that you're ready? Yes, I've had a thumbs up from Helen. Thank you, and Gillian. I'm sure you're all dying to know who the contestants are and the order in which they're going to speak. And I'm going to tell you right now. Speaker number 1 is Louis Kyriacou. Louis Kyriacou. Speaker number 2 is Emmet Naughton. Emmet Naughton. Speaker number 3 is Tom Price. Tom Price. Speaker number 4 is Daniel Magill. Daniel Magill. Speaker number 5 is Chung. Chung. Speaker number 6 is Richard Sharkey. Richard Sharkey. Speaker number 7 is Andrew Tulley. Andrew Tulley. Speaker number 8 is Violeta Saladiene. Violeta Saladiene. So those are our 8 brave contestants, and brave they must be, because I've cracked lots of things on the stage except humour. I think we're about to be able to start the contest. What I'll be doing is calling the speaker's name. They'll come up, we'll do the testing as I indicated, and then I will announce them in a time-honoured way. I'm wondering, was it like that 100 years ago? Maybe. Then it really would be time-honoured. I will give the speaker's name. I will say their speech title. I will repeat the speech title and say their name again. And then at the first indication that the speech is due to start either verbally or physically, the timers will start the timing. So we really are ready to begin. Our first contestant is Louis Kyriacou. Please come to the stage. Louis, can you see the timing lights?
I can indeed.
Would you say in this conference, new term, happy anniversary, District 91?
Happy anniversary, District 91!
Olga, can you confirm that you can hear that?
I can confirm that we can hear Louis loud and clear.
Louis Kyriacou, my friend Al. My friend Al, Louis Kyriacou.
Do you have a friend that everybody loves? The type of friend that people just can't get enough of. The type of friend who can sometimes get you in trouble. Contest chair, Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Today, I'm going to talk to you about my friend Al. Alcohol. And how one night with Al was so embarrassing, made me consider giving up drinking for good. But let's go back. Because me and Al, we go way back. He was there when I had my very first sip of beer. That rite of passage where you're no longer a boy, but a man. And I remember how good that sip of Stella was as I sat there on that park bench. I was in a pub. Don't tell my mum. He was there when I went to university, where I learned many important lessons. As a trainee journalist, I learned how crucial it is to frame a story. Being away from home for the first time, I learned how to fend for myself. And I learned, perhaps most importantly of all, that if you put a straw in a bottle of beer and still drink it from the neck, the booze goes down much quicker. But upon graduating, I came to the realization I no longer wanted to be a journalist. I didn't want to be part of a profession that exploits people for profit. Naturally, I became a recruitment consultant. Now, recruitment is very stressful, and under that stress, Al took a voice of his own. All right, Louis, let's go down a pub. Yeah, I don't know why he's Mickey Flanagan, but in my mind it just kind of works. No, Al, not after the week I've had, thank you. Come on, Louis. Oh, the week you've had, you deserve a carnival too. You're right, I do deserve a pint or two. Besides, it's nearly the weekend. Only 3 more days to go. Well, this particular Tuesday is where it all goes wrong. Because it starts off bad. Because every hour on the hour, somebody's ordering rounds of tequila. Shots at 3, that would be a really bad start to the evening. Shots at 8 o'clock, at 9 o'clock, at 10 o'clock. And then Al does his best, Mickey Flanagan. Louis, let's go out! So off we go to this cheesy 90s nightclub. It was called Wet, 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 which is aptly named because it's seen more spilled booze on its dance floor than a brewery. And then I saw her. Stunningly sexy señorita. I wanted her. But to impress her, I had to show her I had the moves, any Latin man. Dale, a tu cuerpo a la de Macarena, con tu cuerpo a la de Josefina. Dale, a tu cuerpo a la de Macarena, Macarena. Oh! the shoulder. The floor was proper wet that night. I left in disgrace and had to get the night bus home. 3 o'clock in the morning it was until I finally got back to my sweet bed. Attention! Uh-oh! Get your butt out of bed, boy!
Please, not you.
I set up! Now, Al has got an evil twin brother, whose name is Ang. Hangover. And he is in a foul mood with me this morning. What do you think you're doing staying up so late on a Tuesday? It's 9:14 a.m. Oh my God, I'm late for work. So I rushed down the stairs when all of a sudden, that, friends, is the burglar alarm. My brother, thinking I'd left for work already, had set it to away. I've gone down the stairs, and now the thing thinks I'm breaking into my own home. Yeah, phone call from the alarm company. Excuse me, sir, what seems to be the problem? There's a disturbance here. Oh, you overslept, your brother put the alarm on to away, and you triggered the thing. Oh, I sympathise, and I agree. Tuesday is the new Friday. Now, if you just give me your ID code, we can put this match to bed. I have no idea what my ID code is. Wait, does that mean the police are on their way? So you have not been able to confirm your identity. Oh my God, so I'm in a panic now. I'm going through every cupboard and drawer, trying to find this piece of paper that tells me what my personal ID is, when all of a sudden, a noise from the back of the house. Where you me? I go to the back and open the door, and there I see the police officer with the hungriest German shepherd I've ever seen, and another police officer up the neighbour's street with a gun pointing right to me. Nervously, I hand over my ID to prove that I'm me and I live here. The policeman takes it from me, lifts me up and down, gives his furry friend a Scooby snack and tells Rambo to come down from the train. Well, at least it can't get any worse, he says. The police officer says, oh, by the way, good luck against Spurs on Sunday. In all the panic, I hadn't realised that I'd gone and answered the back door wearing nothing but these Arsenal boxer shorts. That was the most embarrassing experience I had ever had with alcohol. Why am I compelled to tell you all about my traumatic ordeal? Because over the years I've learned it is better to laugh and embrace the embarrassment. Believe me, I didn't see the funny side when I hurt my shoulder and had the police at my door. But now I can laugh. And I hope you've enjoyed laughing with me too. Because I was once told there's no such thing as a bad experience. Just a great idea for another speech. I'll tell you this. When the police do come and knock on your door, you do start to evaluate your life choices. Tell your friends, that was the last time I ever had a drink of alcohol. I mean, on a Tuesday. Cheers!
I'd like to invite our next contestant, Emmet Naughton, to the stage. Emmet. Emmet, can you see the timing lights?
And indeed.
Would you please say happy anniversary D91 for a sound check?
Happy anniversary D91 sound check.
Olga, how did Emmet do?
Jill, Emmet did brilliantly. We can hear him loud and clear.
Emmet Naughton. Pat loves a bargain. Pat loves a bargain. Emmet Naughton.
Pat loves a bargain. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, fellow bargain hunters. I know you're out. Who's this Pat fella? That's my dad, and he's absolutely obsessed with discounts. To give you an example, when 76-year-old Pat's popping out in the weekend in his blue Volkswagen Passat, which you got in the bargain, by the way, you know where he's going? Poundland. Do you know what he's doing? Demanding discounts. It's Poundland. But he is a romantic man. I know you guessed it. Of course, the day he met my mother. Absolute nonsense. Black Friday, of course. Pat, what's wrong with you? Well, let's get into the real juicy story of Pat's love of bargains. The year was 1996. Pat, my dad, Angela, my mom, and their wonderful young son, Emmet, me, we're in the United States, and it's the day before we're about to go back to Ireland. And Pat's got one more lap of bargain hunting to do. We're in the car park of a store called Tom's. What's Tom's, I hear you asking? Tom's is like home base and B&Q on discount steroids. It's absolutely bargain bonkers. But Pat's got one more lap of bargain hunting to do. Pat sees the doors are about to open. It's 7:30 a.m. and he launches himself in. Like the Irish version of Usain Bolt. He busts through the door. The young man greets him. Good morning, sir. My name is Bradley. Sir, it's wonderful to have you here at Tom's. How can I be of service to you? Oh, hello, Bradley. My name's Pat. Have you got any barbecues? Sir, of course we do. This is Tom's. We got the finest barbecues in the Midwest. Oh, that's fantastic, Bradley. Where are they? Sir, come over here and I'll show you. We got our deluxe range over here for you, sir. Oh, Bradley. Sir, right here, we've got nothing finer, nothing better, but Rodeo Bill's Deluxe Barbecue. Oh, Bradley, one question though. Is there a discount? Of course, sir. This is Tom's. Sir, we got a one-time offer. I said a one-time offer for you, sir. Oh, 75% off. Oh, Bradley, we'll take it. We'll take it. My mother steps in. Pat, have you thought this one through? We're flying back to Ireland tomorrow, and you want to bring a barbecue? How's that going to work? Angela, do I look like a man who doesn't know what he's doing? Pat, you took the words right out of my mouth. You haven't a clue what you're doing. We'll take it, Bradley. We'll take it. And Pat launched himself to the checkout. Wonderful choice, sir. Rodeo Bills. I could not have picked better myself. Sir, where are you planting? Oh, we're going back to Ireland. Oh, sir, Iceland. I know it well. Next to Germany. Ah, yes. Fantastic place. No, Bradley. Ireland, next to the UK. Sir, Republic of Iceland. Best place ever. Sir, you have a great flight back to Iceland. It was now later that day, and Pat somehow managed to pack the full barbecue set into 3 ginormous bags. Pat, you're some man. It was now the following day, and we were going to the Delta Airlines check-in, and the young girl greets us. Good morning, sir. My name is Veronica. Sir, it's wonderful to have you here on Delta Airlines flight 775 back to Ireland. Sir, can you give me your passports? Oh, sir, you're Irish. Oh, wow. My great-great-great-great-granddaddy was Irish. In fact, I'm Irish too. Oh, sir, can you put your first bags up here? Oh, sir, that's a heavy bag. What's in the bag, sir? Books. This little fella, he's very smart. He loves books. Well, sir, you had a great flight back to Ireland. We somehow got onto the flight, but then I noticed my parents were arguing, and I said, okay, I'm not going to go near this. We were now halfway over the Atlantic, and my mother started doing something strange. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Oh, holy Mary, oh, the turbulence, we're all dead. We're all dead, thanks to this man. This lunatic of a man. I want to divorce him again. Mom, is everything okay? Emmet, I didn't want to scare you. I didn't want to scare you. But things have got too far this time for his love of discounts. Mom, Emmet, in the hold of this plane is not just rodeo bills, but something else way more deadly. Mom, in the hold of this plane is also rodeo bills, but a 7 kg bottle of beauty for the barbecue. Oh, my goodness. This man, there's no stopping him for these discounts. I'm happy to say we all made it back to the Republic of Ireland in one piece. Rodeo bills and the bottle of butane included. But there was something else about this that I learned, and that's my father and I. We've had our differences of opinions throughout the years. Oh, if you think nearly killing 220 people on board a Delta Airlines flight is one of them, oh, you should see the other stories. But I've learned to love him and accept him for who he is. Because we've all got our differences, right? But I do love him and I do accept him for those differences. And there's also something else. I've always got to accept that Pat will love him.
Contestant number 3, would Tom please come up to the stage? Tom, can you see the timing lights?
Yes, I can see the timing lights.
Tom, in time-honored fashion, would you say, happy anniversary, D91?
Happy anniversary, D91!
Online, Olga, how do you do?
Absolutely crystal clear. Back to you, Jill.
Thank you, Olga. Tom Price, Confessions of a Lunar Lover. Confessions of a Lunar Lover, Tom Price.
Thou shalt not express thyself was an unspoken rule for the males in my household growing up. When I was 11 years old, living in rural Wales, I started having these strange new feelings for the girl who lived next door, and it all became very confusing. The first problem was that I didn't know how to express myself. Second problem was that she's a little bit older than me. The third, much more astronomical problem is that she was way out of my league. Contest chair and fellow Toastmasters, I was suffering from a bad case of first love, which I'm sure we've all experienced. But my plan was to tell her just how I felt. I creep up and ring the doorbell of my next door neighbour. I tingle with anticipation. It feels like thousands of tiny flames are dancing on my skin. But the only thing burning? My loins. Because on the other side of that door is the girl of my dreams, Tracy. She's blonde, bubbly, and completely doolally. She opens the door, and I stand there gawping at her. Trying to cobble some words together, but her celestial presence causes me to freeze up So over the next few months, Tracy and I, we hang out. We have movie nights and sleepovers. And one day we go to jungle gyms. Now, when you grow up in Wales, the main form of entertainment is to chase after sheep with sticks. So going to jungle gyms is like pure ecstasy. When I arrive, I see this ginormous vertical slide in the middle of the play area, and I hatch a new plan. A genius plan. A plan that is so infallible, it's guaranteed to win Tracy over. My plan is to go down the vertical slide, and then Tracy will see how brave I am, and then she'll become my girlfriend. Simple. In this way, I don't have to express myself. So, I climb the vertical slide. I step towards the edge. I look down, and I can't do this! Dejected, I climb back down. Now Tracy will never be mine! Won't she? One evening, Tracy sent me the mother of all signs. I'm at home, playing Lego with my mum in her bedroom, when there's a noise outside. Poke my head out the window. There in the street is Tracy, in all of her topographical glory. Wearing a black jacket, a checkered skirt, and leather knee-high boots. She walks off, she looks back, and she does the unthinkable. She pulls a moonie. Hands up, who here knows what a moonie is? I'm guessing a fair few people after that. Well, aren't you a bunch of dirty devils? Now, hands up, does anyone not know what a moonie is? Oh. Do any of the dirty devils fancy coming up doing a live? But for anyone who doesn't know what a moonie is, it's where you turn around, pull your pants down, and flash your bum at someone. Hence the lack of volunteers. But anyway, the titillating Tracy moonies me. Her pale white derriere. It's like a beacon of light illuminating the night sky. My eyes shoot out of my head like asteroids. Feels like electricity is coursing through my veins. I start bouncing off the walls around my house, pounding my chest and grunting. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Much like a caveman would do when they first discovered fire. Everywhere I go, I'm reminded of Tracy. In the morning, pick up a juicy, voluptuous peach. And immediately think of Tracy. In the canteen at lunch, I see row after row of luscious ring donuts. Instantly, I dream of Tracy. After school, grab a pair of its bulging, round bottom. And once again, I pine for Tracy. Shortly after the night of the full moon, a dark cloudy skies rolled in. Tracy moved to the next town along, and I never saw her again. When I reflect back on this tumultuous period of my life, I'm filled with a mixture of emotions, because through all of it, I never once told Tracy how I felt. So I wonder, how different could my life have been if I had just expressed myself? Maybe we would have stayed in contact after she moved. Maybe I would have chosen her instead of university. And maybe, instead of standing in front of you all today, I was standing beside her on a small farm in the Welsh Riviera, mooneying sheep. Now and again I think, you fool! What did you actually expect to happen when you fall in love with your best friend's mum? Yes, right. Tracy was a yummy mummy, 25 years my senior. Not only was she too old for me, I was far too prepubescent. Despite this, I still learned a valuable lesson. That is, if you really like somebody, then do something about it, and don't wait for that person to vanish from your life forever. Thank you, contest chair.
I'd like to invite our fourth contestant, Dan Magill, to the stage. Dan, can you see the timing lights?
Yes.
Would you say, in our now time-honoured fashion,
Yes.
happy anniversary, D91?
Happy anniversary, D91.
Olga? How was
Absolutely.
that?
That was crystal clear, Jill. Back to you.
Thank you. Dan Magill. Title, to be confirmed. Title, to be confirmed. Dan Magill.
Thank you. I've just overheard someone say, district final, and he hasn't even got a title. which is fair, but this time yesterday, I wasn't even sure how I was going to open this speech. I went on TikTok. Sorry, Florian. Florian doesn't like TikTok, for anyone who saw his talk yesterday. But I went on TikTok and I searched for how to open a humorous speech. And I came across a channel run by, I can only imagine he was a Toastmaster. He called himself Pavel the Gavel. And he didn't have anything to say on titles, obviously, but he did have a tip for opening a speech. He said, when you're up there on stage for the first time and you're feeling very nervous, he said you've got two options. Option one, if your audience are very attractive, picture them naked. He said option two, if your audience are not attractive at all, ask them a question, it'll put the attention on them for a minute. I'd like to ask you all a question. Show of hands. How many of you know what you want to be when you grow up? None. That's what I expected. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters, and all of you who look like you had too much van last night in the Hotel du Van. I'm 7 years old, I'm at school, and our teacher, Mrs. Fitzpatrick, she's lined us all up at the front of the class, and now she's going along the line, one by one, predicting what we will become when we grow up. Mrs. Fitzpatrick, she was a bit like a VPE. She was one role short of a full agenda. She told the chap next to me, Barry Carmichael, that she could see him spending a lot of his adult life in prison. He's a priest now. Well, anyway, and then it was my turn for the Mrs. Fitzpatrick treatment. Daniel McGill. Sounds like an author's name. Daniel, you're going to be a great writer when you grow up. You could still get away with that in the classroom in the 80s. But it seemed like maybe Mrs. Fitzpatrick was onto something, because for the next 10 years or so, I was forever scribbling down short stories and dreaming of having them published one day. Then life takes over, doesn't it? The author in me faded away. Until one day, 3 years ago, I was actually in a Toastmaster meeting and somebody was giving a speech titled, How to Write Your First Book in 12 Days. I don't know which pathway they were on. It was either delusional strategies or persuasive insanity, one of the two. But I was inspired and I thought, yes, this is the time. Problem was, much like this speech, I didn't know where to start. So I Googled, how do the best writers get started? And the top result was actually for J.K. Rowling.
It said that JK, she'd been a single mom in her mid-20s, she was living on benefits, and she'd been rejected by the publishers time after time after time. And then one day, on a train from Manchester to London, she had the idea for Harry Potter. And I thought, what an inspirational story. I knew exactly what I needed to do. I booked a train from Manchester to London. And it worked. I had a brilliant idea. Next day, I sent it off to 10 different publishers. I did. And within a week, believe it or not, I had 11 rejection letters. One of them simply said, plagiarism at its finest. I don't know what that meant. Would you like to hear the idea? Yeah. A bespectacled teenage girl heads off to boarding school, where she discovers she has magical powers and an uncanny ability to play golf on a broomstick. Plagiarism? What plagiarism? I was ready to write. I booked myself a flight to Canada in the freezing winter so I could go away and really focus. Carpe diem, I said to myself, which is a Latin phrase that means seize the midlife crisis. And I went to Canada. Day one was fabulous. I wrote 1,000 words of the first Sally Trotter adventure. Day two, I'm about to start work, and I realise I've run out of wine. Bit of sympathy from the audience, I think. Now, there was a wine store down the street, but there was also a blizzard outside, and it was minus 36 degrees. So a bit like our old friend Pavel the Gavel, I had two options. Option one, I forget the wine, I sit down and I get on with my work. Option two, I head out into the blizzard and maybe die. Which option do you think I chose? The ideas? Two. You're all wrong. I chose a completely different pathway. I flew to Mexico. I spent the next 3 weeks passed out on a beach, and I haven't written a word since. It's a pathway I call engaging tequila. I don't know if you all agree with this, but for me, that's what being an adult is about. It's about failing. It's about giving up. It's about being rejected. It's about spending far too much time on TikTok, Tinder, and Twitter. It's about guzzling far too much wine for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But most importantly, it's about always believing that all of that could change at any moment. The next chapter isn't written yet. That train ticket hasn't been booked yet. The title of your life is to be confirmed. And as the great Mrs. Fitzpatrick would always say to us, children, your future is like my bottle of water here. You've got no idea what's really in it. Contest chair.
Our fifth contestant, Chung, would you please come to the stage? Can you see the timing lights?
Yes, I can see the timing lights.
In the age-old way, could you please say happy anniversary D91?
Happy anniversary, D91.
Olga and your crew, can you hear that?
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Thank you. Chung, it was really, really, really nice working with you. It was really, really, really nice working with you. Chung.
Toastmasters are most welcome guests. Be honest with yourself. Have you ever had the feeling that your workplace would be better without other people? Now, I'm not saying I don't like my colleagues. In fact, my problem is when they leave. Because when they leave, the inevitable happens. The thank you and all the best card. You see, whilst I'm all right at writing speeches for the stage, as soon as the leaving card reaches me, I get writer's block. I have absolutely no idea what to say to this person. We have this little game. I can see the card moving across the office, and a bit of musical chairs happens as when the card gets towards me, I'm sort of magically grabbing my mug and just scooting around the corner so that it avoids me. But sometimes I cannot avoid things. And the issue is that there are so many people in my office, I simply don't really know who they are. If I was being honest, I'd write, I've made eye contact with you twice, accidentally. But you have to be a decent, nice colleague. So no, right, it was nice working with you, right? That's the nice generic comment. And if I've been with this person for 10 years, we've gone for beers together, I've been invited to their wedding, I'd write, it was really nice working with you. Now, I took some tips from Toastmasters that said that you should use the power of 3. And so I had this enthusiasm of going, I really nice working with you. And I got an email from HR saying that I was giving the wrong vibe in the office. Now, with the pandemic happening, and then we were coming back in, we had the Great Resignation. So even more people were leaving. I was getting inundated with cards that I had to write this really nice message on. So I did what any normal person would do. I went on the internet and I gathered all of the kind of responses you can write in a leaving card, and I put them in a spreadsheet and mixed it up a little bit so that every time a card came along, open up Excel, here we go, write it back in. And I got this amazing feedback from people. They're saying, Garlock, I'm so touched by the authenticity, how well you know me. Thinking, yes. I really meant all of those kind words, so you hear, don't worry about it. But it got so out of hand that people started asking me to write their cards for them. That's okay. I've got the spreadsheet. I started kind of scribbling away, but I didn't want people to think I was weird. So I gave myself a new nickname, the Card Whisperer. Because, you know, with great power comes great responsibility. And I wanted to make sure I was utilizing my power as effectively as possible. I heard that one card I wrote for, it ended up in a bit of an office romance with the person leaving. And in my fantasy, I could see they had run off, maybe had some children. I said, on the power of my words, how many children have I fathered? Now, in the office, there's this guy called Dave. He's known as the fixer. He's the photocopier's broken. I can't find this person. He's the guy you go to. So I colluded with him that, you know, if anyone's struggling, here I am. So whenever he sees someone, pen in hand, looking ashen-faced at what they're about to write, he'd come up to them and go, don't panic. I know a guy. And I would come to the rescue. And in one of these cases, Dave was told about a work experience student called Chris. Been with the company for a few weeks, helped us out, and the team, the engineering team, was meant to give them a good parting gift and this massive card signed by all the team to say how much they appreciated their work. Obviously, they had not been organised enough to get that card. Could Card Whisperer save the day? I said, of course, bring me the card. So I got it. I got one of those clicky pens, the ones where you got different colours. I got my spreadsheet out. I used my right hand, my left hand, because you need to be devious to get away with this. I started writing. I wrote the usual messages. You're a great lad, Chris. All the best for the future. You're going to go far. The kind of things you want to tell all encouraging people coming to your company, just how much they were appreciated. I then put the card in place, was very excited. I thought I'd go to the leaving party just to see what it was like. When I went there, I realised that Dave had left out a few pertinent points that Card Whisperer needed. The first one was Chris was actually spelt Krys, short for Crystal. So not only had I got this person's name completely wrong, in a firm that celebrates diversity, I had also completely misgendered them in all of the comments. I got a message from HR. Go off, you're sending the wrong vibe in the room. Anyway, after that message, I decided it was time for Card Whisperer to retire. But it did reflect, why is it that myself and maybe some of you struggle to find the right words to put in? Maybe it's that sense of perfection, of really wanting to get it right. And sometimes the simplest messages do. So I said to Chris, I'm really, really, really sorry.
Our sixth contestant is Richard Sharkey. Richard, please come to the stage. Can you see the timing lights?
Yes, I can.
Richard, in time-honoured fashion, would you say, happy anniversary D91?
Happy anniversary, D91.
Do I have an okay?
You do indeed. Crystal clear.
Thank you. Richard Sharkey. I don't like cricket. Oh no, I love it. I don't like cricket. Oh no, I love it. Richard Sharkey.
How was that? Raise your hands if you love the game of cricket. Oh, a smattering of you. It's going to be a difficult day, though. But by the end of my speech, I'm going to have you all singing from the top of your lungs. How much? I love it. Fellow cricket lovers, and you cricket haters in the audience, I have before you two inventions. Two inventions with the same name. They have changed the course of humankind. Firstly, a box. The common cardboard box, invented around 1870. Next, a box. This is a cricketing box, or as some of us cricketers love to call it, our saviour. It's been protecting the human species since 1874. The common cardboard box, it's used to protect things, put things into, and to carry things around. And the cricketing box, I see some wandering eyes in the audience. It's also used to protect things, to put things into, and to carry those things around. But this box, ladies and gentlemen, has a more pertinent purpose.
and that is to protect the crown jewels of its wearer, whether it be a male or female, from an unfortunate meeting with the cricket ball, or as some of us cricketers dare to call it, the infertilizer. Can you believe that the cricketing box was in use 100 years before the helmet used to protect this head was? Conclusive evidence, my wife says, as to which head a man thinks with first. Imagine it's a beautiful sunny Saturday morning in suburban Auckland, New Zealand. The birds are chirping merrily away, and my high school cricket team are playing the neighbouring school team. I've just come out to bat, and I'm about to face the opposing team's star bowler, Zeus, as in the Greek god, but just scarier. Zeus has got the ball in hand, and he's about to begin his run-up. So I assume my batting position. The sound of the willow connecting with the dirt. As I look up, Zeus is speeding in like a bullet train. He throws the ball in my direction, and at that moment, things go badly south. 10 minutes prior to this, I'm blissfully back in the pavilion, waiting for my turn to come out and bat. But at that moment, my teammate is stretching off the field after taking one to the body from Zeus. My coach, Mr. Salmon, yells, "Sharkey, you're up next. Are you ready?" So I do a quick inventory check. Cricket pads check. Cricket gloves check. Helmet check. Something is missing. What can it be? "Sharkey, hurry up and get out there now!" bellows Coach Salmon impatiently. Panic starts to set in. What have I forgotten? District 91. Box. That's right. I forgot my box. I left it at home. Coach Salmon is going absolutely berserk right now. He's effing and blinding. Words I cannot repeat in this contest, or I'll be disqualified. "Sharkey, if you don't have your own box, wear the team box!" So I race to the team box bag. I locate the team box. Whoa! It looks like a laboratory specimen dish. I can feel Coach Salmon's eyes bearing down on me, so I have to make an executive decision. Wear it and risk catching this contagious virus, or leave it and risk catching a Zeus special. So I thought, I'm the batsman. I leave the box down and head out to battle. Fast forward to things going badly south. The ball gets me right in the cobblers. The simmering sounds of sweeps across the field from all directions, from Zeus and his teammates, from the umpires, and even Coach Salmon, 40 metres away, back in the pavilion. I'm curled up in the fetal position, and I'm seeing stars. And then the stars merge into one big, bright light, like I'm in a tunnel. There's someone walking towards me. God? No, it's Coach Salmon. He throws the box down on me and says, "Wear it, Sharkey. And remember this, bowler, not a batsman." Reluctantly, I wear the box, but I'm bowled out very next ball by Zeus. They go on to win the game, and Zeus wins man of the match. But at least, ladies and gentlemen, I live to tell the tale, even managing to have a child in the process. And even then, nobody knows how that happened. Fellow cricket lovers and cricket haters, we all have our part to play in saving the human species. So when you see your child, your grandchild, or even a random stranger getting into a game of cricket, remember to ask them, have you packed your box? Before I conclude my speech, I've got one last job to do, and that's cricket hater conversion therapy. I'm going to hold up a sign of some words made famous back in the 70s, and I want you to all sing as loud as you can. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. I don't like cricket. Oh no, I'm not playing guitar.
I'd like to ask our 7th contestant, Andrew Tulley, onto the stage. Can you see the timing lights?
I can.
Would you say in time-honored fashion, happy birthday, D91?
Happy birthday, D91.
Olga?
That's perfect, thank you.
Andrew Tulley, The Mole's Revenge. The Mole's Revenge, Andrew Tulley.
How do you say make him pay in mole? No? Well, let me tell you why I ask. The thing you need to know about my dad is that he was a man prone to whims. This is why my mum, over the years, found herself living in a desert, looking after a monkey that my dad had named Leaky on account of his poor bladder control. Sorry, the monkeys. Or co-parenting 2 near identical goats. But we'll get to those. The relevant win for us is the day we decided they would buy an old disused watermill just some 50 miles east of here and run it as a pub and a restaurant. Hundreds of years old, with a river rushing underneath and a low ceiling bar full of concussion beams. You know what a concussion beam is. Supposedly they're holding up the ceiling, but much better at knocking out the drunk or the unwary. Inverse speed bumps for the tall. But the people they met running this place were just as quirky as the building. For instance, there was the animal rights group who were tremendously upset when my parents put frog's legs on the menu. No, don't get me wrong, I'm all for animal rights. Give dogs the vote, let cats drive, lower the age when geese can't elope. But let's have some consistency. These people were perfectly chill about the chicken on the menu. They had no beef with a bourguignon. They couldn't have cared less if we bought the pork. But something about eating these small green creatures was simply unfrogable. Outside the mill, in the grounds, there were lots of green, grassy areas that my dad spent hours maintaining. He had a blue boiler suit that he wore for all of his outdoor jobs, and a bright red, noisy set-on tractor that he used to mowing the lawn. And it's here where you need to know the other thing about my dad. He loved to automate. He'd already automated the booking system for the restaurant, the payroll for the staff, the auto-dialing of the local hospital and family solicitor when there was a particularly bad case of oak being meets customer forehead. And now he turned his attention to the law. Their origins were never fully explained, but one day we had 2 goats, Ant and Deck. The plan was simple. Plant a stake in the middle of the lawn, attach the 2 goats on long leads, let them live a life of goatee luxury. All that we asked was they chewed the grass and kept it short. And the plan worked beautifully. Until just a few days later, the moles arrived. One or two molehills at first, pockmarks on the lawnscape from these subterranean terrorists. But the goats seemed to love them. They would stop their chewing, hang their heads low, listening, almost whispering. And as the molehill numbers grew, Dad tried everything to get rid of them. Mole traps, no good. Mole bait, no good. Vibrating sonic mole repellents, no good. Incidentally, you can still buy these and the reviews are terrible. I must share two I found on Amazon. Scared the wife a bit when I turned it on, but the moles couldn't have cared less. 1 star. Vibrated and buzzed as promised, but I suspect there's better equipment available at Ann Summers. 1 star. Nothing worked until he had a brainwave. Hands up if you know what a shotgun is. Yes, big gun that goes boom, right? Absolutely. Normally used for clay pigeon shooting. Well, but what about if we change the angle? Well, that was the idea, but of course you can't shoot what you can't see, and these little buggers were underground. Here's the clever bit. What you might not know about moles is that they are by far at their most active first thing in the morning. Too busy the rest of the day. Existential philosophy, underground jazz, optometry appointments. I don't know how moles fill their time. The point is, dawn is when to get them. And you know where they are because when the molehills twitch, they're directly underneath. And so it happens that if some 20 years ago you chanced to be walking past the old mill at first light, you may have just about made out the hunched figure of a man in a blue boiler suit. Shotgun buried in his shoulder, pointing at the ground like some confused insomniac ghostbuster. And if you'd waited some moments longer, boom! You'd have heard the flash, crack of gunfire as a shot penetrated the earth and hopefully the poor mole below. And it worked. Some mornings this macabre routine went on. The moles and the molehills began to disappear. And as the last of them vanished, the goats took on a forlorn look as they realised their friends were no more. The moles had been vanquished. They had been outgunned. And frankly had shown very poor military creativity when the hour had called for it. Until just a few days later, one evening, my dad saw the two goats out on the lawn, one in distress. He went out to help the poor creature, and as he did so, the other goat wound his lead around him, pulled him to the ground, and broke his ankle. 60 days in a cast. The goats were fine. Now, I'm not suggesting there was definite bestial collaboration. I have no proof that the moles had taken out some kind of contract for my father, or had grouped around a makeshift war gaming table complete with miniature figurines planning his demise. Only this. In answer to the question, how do you say make him pay in mole? Well, I don't know. But I'm damn sure Anton Deck did. Contest check.
I'd like to invite our final, our 8th contestant to come to the stage, Violeta Saladiene. Violeta, can you see the timing lights?
Yes, I can.
In time-honoured fashion, for the last time possibly today, could you say happy anniversary D91?
Happy anniversary, D91.
Olga, left off.
For the last time today, yes, we can hear Violeta loud and clear.
Violeta Saladiene. Cegalite tai suprasti prasam maloniai, ucianectie labai gratia paploti. Cegalite tai suprasti prasam maloniai, ucianectie labai gratia paploti. Violeta Saladiene.
Labas, it means hello. I am Lithuanian, or as my English friends pronounce it, foreign. But my language is not so difficult. You understood the title of my speech. Jei galite tai suprasti, prašau maloniai užsienietei labai gražiai paploti. Which means, if you can understand this, please give the nice foreign lady a big round of applause. This speech is about how I have adapted to English culture and made Britain my home. Let me demonstrate my Britishness. I am from Shilling Speakers, an online club with members from all over the world. Looking into the camera and on Zoom, Celia, she's from Greece. You are foreign. But she's from Ireland. You are foreign. Bill, from America. Since 1776, Americans are ex-British. Therefore, you are foreign. I have also observed simplistic British stereotyping. Anyone from Poland? Yes, you are a plumber. Let me make clear. I love my adopted country of Britain, and I love its people. I love the British sense of humor, the sense of fair play, and that people are here warm and welcoming when they are not being cold and aloof. But there is one thing I'm still struggling with: British regional accents. Before I left Lithuania, I already had a job lecturing in English. I never imagined I would have any communication issues here. The problem was, when learning English in Lithuania, we watched lots of historical BBC dramas. So I thought that everyone in the UK spoke like this. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. When we arrived 11 years ago, we landed at Birmingham Airport and traveled straight to our new home in the West Midlands. Yes, I was living my dream. The next day, I wanted to introduce my husband and kids to the British culture, so I took them to McDonald's. I placed the order, and the girl, the counter, asked, "Sorry? Excuse me, are you eating in or out?" I could hardly understand the accent. I needed a translator. I started work in an international company with people from all over the world. When I met my boss, I could hardly understand a word he said. So for the first week, I just would say, "Thank you," and leave the room. Eventually, I asked someone, "Where is he from?" "He is from Scotland." One day, my son came from school and said that his bicycle tire popped. So we went to Halfords to get a replacement. I came up to the counter and said, "May I have a flat tire, please?" The assistant looked and said, "Do you mean you have already got a flat tire?" "No, I have not. That's why I have come here. Please give me a flat tire." Eventually, it was explained that a new tire is uninflated, but not flat. These experiences undermined my confidence in my ability to speak English. To go with my worries, I devoured sweets and chocolate. I became addicted to sugar. My drug dealer was that bad boy Asta. I got hooked on the chocolate cookies, Haribo, and Dr. Pepper. Just £1 each at the till. I put on so much weight. I had to go to see my GP. She recommended to exercise daily for 30 minutes, and I did. Every day, I took a walk of 30 minutes to ask them to buy it. My communication wasn't effective, and it was very difficult to find new friends because people thought I was rude. Me? Rude? Shut up! My life was a mess, and my confidence disappeared faster than Liz Truss's premiership. But then, one day, I went to a Toastmasters meeting, and I felt, finally, I was in the right place. They made new friends, improved my communication skills, learned about all your weird national cultures, and unintelligible accents too. Hello, Toastmasters. In conclusion, whatever your country, whatever your mother tongue, thank you for being part of my extended family and feeling me at home.